Sean McAnally here with Dr. Bill McAnally. Guys, previous video that we put out talked a little bit about why we created the products the way we created them, why we formulated them, how we formulated them, in what ratios and whatnot. Of course, all those ratios are, that's trade secret. We can't give that away. It's too much research, too much time put in that to do that. That'd be silly. But we created them to help you guys. Anyone that takes them to help your body do what it needs to do to stay healthy. And what Dr. Bill wants to do is talk to you about, we're going to do a little series of videos here, and he's going to talk to you about the pathways and what they do when they come on and are turned off, and how foods turn them on, turn them off, and really what that means is how they modulate them, how they make them do how they're supposed to do. Not force them to do something because you want it to do it like a drug may do. Okay, so we're going to start out with, I think he's going to talk specifically about 3 pathways here. And I could be wrong. I've been wrong a couple times, I think. But anyways, no, that's a joke. I've been wrong a lot. But we're going to go ahead. I know he's going to talk about the Mtor pathway and what it does. And there's lots of studies out there on the foods that turn it on and turn it off and really modulate it. It allows the body to do what it needs to do to turn them on and turn them off when they need to do that. Dr. Bill?
Thank you, Sean. Yeah, these pathways have just recently been discovered in the last few years. And they're learning that every cell has these pathways that keeps it regulated. And really these pathways are all modulated by our food. So when you eat some food, different foods turn on different pathways, and different pathways use those nutrients that come with that food to fix the cell. Every day, healthy people fix billions and billions of cells. And the average person has 60 billion that he can't fix, and the pathways have to go through apoptosis, which is self-digestion or self-eating. And it just, you never even know it. 60 billion a day. That's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
And these pathways are so complicated. The top cancer centers have identified them, and they realize, like on the Mtor pathway, whenever it gets out of balance and it's not functioning right, you can end up with ovarian cancer, breast cancer, prostate cancer, urethral cancer, several different cancers. That's because it's out of balance. And it just gets out of balance, and you have 37 trillion cells. And these pathways are in your brain, they're everywhere, every cell. They're even in flies. The same pathways are in flies. So God put these pathways in here to self-regulate and use the food to keep you healthy. Now, if you don't eat the right foods, you don't modulate those pathways. And what we knew is people were starving because they didn't have energy, and they knew that the grass seeds could give them energy. But now we realize we need more than energy. We need the foods that activate these pathways. And it's amazing, some of these pathways regulate more than 100 different enzymes are interacting.
Wow.
Whenever they see it going too far to the right, there are some that move it back to the left. I mean, it's just the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It's the most complicated thing I've ever seen. I thought the Krebs cycle was complicated, but these pathways are 1,000 times more complicated. And right now, cancer centers around the world and pharmaceutical companies are trying to block or accelerate pathways. And what they need to do is do what foods do, modulate them.
Gotcha.
That's it.
Gotcha. All right, Dr. Bill. And did you want to talk in specific a little bit about the pathways that you know, are actually involved in these cancers you were just talking about? I mean,
Well,
you mentioned the mTOR pathway.
yeah, well, the mTOR pathway is signaled by the survival pathways, and there are several of them, and they're turned on by the AKT, and it goes around. It's regulated by BCL2, which we've talked about before.
Yeah.
So when you have a cancer and it's out of control, BCL2 can bring it back in.
Mm-hmm.
But then if BCL2 is too high, you know, then you could end up with other cancers
Gotcha.
not being regulated. So you have to modulate it.
Right. Right.
And there are all kinds of backup systems, but when cells get out of control and start multiplying, that's when you have cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Food fixes the cells before they get that way.
Mm-hmm.
They keep you healthy.
Gotcha. All right, Dr. Bill. Well, thank you so much. Guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll be coming at you talking, you know, about some of these other pathways and how food affects them and how they're turned on, turned off, and just what really keeps us from getting sick in the first place. Till next time, this is For the Health of It.